glad to welcome you to my talk on accessibility within UX, on bettering and designing better products. Okay, today I will discuss the critical role of accessibility in the world of UX and product design. My talk will last 30 minutes and I'll have 5 minutes for question at the end. I'll review how prioritizing accessibility doesn't just benefit users with disabilities, but enhances the overall quality of products and services for everyone. My background is as a designer, lecturer, and researcher with 25 years of experience in graphic interaction and product design. It has led me to focus on accessibility, sustainability, and collaboration. I have taught in Sweden, Denmark, and the United States for 2 decades. Currently, I'm a permanent lecturer at Malmö University in Sweden. I hold a master's degree from Parsons, the New School in New York, and I am working on a PhD at the University of London right now. My dissertation has a chapter on accessibility within UX. I also work with accessibility with private clients, with web and app prototyping. Let's first understand what we mean by accessibility in the context of UX. Accessibility encompasses design principles and practices that our digital and physical products can be used by all people with all abilities and disabilities. It's about creating an inclusive experience where nobody's left out. The goal of accessibility is to create usable experiences for all and adapting an inclusive design mentality. Everyone deserves to take part in all aspects of society, including the digital experiences. Next, I'll share a few slides of how to increase accessibility within the UX. One simple step is to increase accessibility is to make the text readable with high contrast text and using variable fonts that support a variety of weights. High contrast fonts can be seen here on the left with the white font on a black background and a black font on a white background. That these increase the legibility for all users compared to the low contrast grayscale where it's harder to read. Globally, there's 300 million people that are visually impaired and also 300 million that are colorblind. So high contrast designs support these users to ensure the content is read and understood. Another example is providing detailed text alternatives for non-text content of images. Alt text and alternative text has been around since the early days of the internet, and it's crucial to use. Alt text provides a textual description of images for the content and the context of the images. For example, on a website featuring a dog or a cat, the alt text could be a cute gray cat or a brown Labrador dog. The alt text conveys essential information about the image, enabling users with visual impairments to comprehend the content and enhance the overall digital experience. Another example of UX design enhancing accessibility is to include assistive devices, such as a keyboard instead of a mouse. This allows people with disabilities, such as limited mobility or dexterity issues, to navigate and interact with digital interfaces easily. With keyboard navigation, users can access all features and functions by pressing keys and ensuring that the web or app is usable for a wider range of individuals, regardless of their physical ability. This inclusive design ensures that everybody can access all the digital content effectively. These are just a few examples among many. Now you might be wondering, why is accessibility for UX more than just nice to have? That's because there are legal requirements in place. Laws like the European Accessibility Act that started in 2019 and the United Nations Disability Act that was started in, I think the United Nations Convention of Right of Persons with Disability started in 2006, and the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines started in 1999. And Americans with Disabilities started in 1990. All of these exist to enforce accessibility standards. As designers, we must recognize that it's not a choice, but a legal and ethical obligation to ensure our products are accessible for all. Let's look at the statistics on disabilities within societies. It's not just about accommodating a small group, it affects the bottom line and the overall function of a product. I will focus on a few markets within Europe, the US, Moldova, and generally globally. There are 100 million people with disabilities in the EU. There's 42.5 in the US, and Moldova has 6.5%. The global average is roughed out at 15% of society. An organization or business that prioritizes digital accessibility is more likely to draw in some of this market. With an aging population globally, the number of people with disabilities will continue to increase. This is because old age brings about certain disabilities, such as low vision, mobility, and cognitive disabilities. It costs more to procure a new customer than to keep an existing customer. So making sure that your customers can use your products as they age is very important. What are the legal repercussions of inaccessible design? Within the US last year in 2022, 2,387 website accessibility lawsuits were filed. This is a 143% increase in the companies that are repeatedly sued from the previous year. Within the EU, the European Accessibility Act law is going to be enforced starting in 2025 in each country. The momentum of these show that accessibility is part of the digital product design landscape now and in the near future. Next, I will share a real-world example of highlighting how inaccessibility of product can exclude potential users and how this can harm a company, leading to legal issues and changes within the product. In one of the first ADA accessibility lawsuits in 2012, the National Association of the Deaf sued Netflix, the popular streaming company. The lawsuit was for exempting customers with any hearing impairment and deafness from their online services. Netflix lost the lawsuit and made changes immediately to the product. Now in 2023, Netflix has a complete range of accessibility features for people with hearing, vision, or physical mobility limitations. A few of these are assisted listening systems, audio descriptions, brightness and font control, keyboard shortcuts, screen readers, closed captioned and subtitles, and voice commands. It's clear that the result of the lawsuit made an impact on Netflix product accessibility features. These accessibility features have also added a value to the company. In my view, including accessibility and UX offers two key benefits. One is the societal benefit through inclusive design. It promotes social inclusion, improving the quality of life, and make sure that your workforce is current with the technology norms. Two, the financial benefit, expanding your company base, potentially increasing revenue, ensuring legal compliance, and avoiding costly legal penalties. Starts with understanding the diverse needs of the users. Disabilities vary widely, and it's crucial to empathize with all the experience of all the users. Conducting extensive user research to gain insights on the preferences and ultimately guide our design decisions. In 2022, it was reported that 3% of the internet is accessible for people with disabilities. This means that 97% of the internet is in need of accessibility product upgrades and features. In 2020, 22% of companies were investing in a more accessible design system. That's likely higher 3 years later, which is now. The main motivation for this uptick is the power of accessibility efforts at scale and being supported by platforms and third-party accessibility plugins. Okay, now to create truly an accessible product, I incorporate the POUR method, which includes 4 key phrases, a few of the features of each. P for perceivable is related to what is seen and heard. Okay, O is operable, is related to clear navigation and components. U is for understandable, that the ease of information and the user interface, the UI. And R for robust, is related to evolving technologies and supporting assistive technologies. These are the method ensures that the product is accessible for all. Next, I will share a POUR method applied to a case study. The case study is called the Fleet AI Keyboard app. My students and I collaborated with the developers that were in Germany and Denmark. The goal of the app is to create a versatile keyboard app for predictive translation and specific context. For example, truck drivers needing a seamless communication, and they might come from different parts of the world, or factory workers that come from different parts with different languages, with them communicating together. A few of the prototypes are shown here. The P for perceivable can be seen through the user-friendly and high-contrast interface. The O for operable is seen in the smooth translation of languages within specific industries. U for understandable is seen in the clear navigation and information. R for robust is seen in the industry-specific predictive AI text modes and the ability to work within other applications. This app is still in development, and we're looking forward to its eventual launch. Now let's transition into the practical aspects of implementing accessibility in all stages of the UX design process. By including UX evaluation tools through all the stages of user research, design, prototyping, testing, implementation, and maintenance, there are currently 166 UX evaluation tools listed on the W3C website. A few of these popular tools are created by Google and Microsoft, and they also function within Chrome. Specifically, there's an array of tools and resources to help with our designs with accessibility standards. A comprehensive list of these tools are available at the W3C website, and here are a few suggestions that are free by Google and Microsoft, and a few of the paid versions at the end. And Figma, now owned by Adobe, has 181 accessibility plugins for UX designers for both free and paid versions. I don't know, they're not so legible here, but okay, they simplify the design process for user testing and making it easier for the designers to adhere to the standards. On this slide, a few of the plugins are shown. I'll highlight one of them called Stark, and it shows if you meet the contrast guidelines and that they pass all the accessibility tests. Next, to truly appreciate the power of accessible design, let's turn our attention to a few inspiring case studies. These real-world examples will illustrate how accessible design impacts the user satisfaction of inclusivity and, in turn, a brand's image. First, to start with, is Apple, known for its smart, strong, and inclusive design. These accessibility features, vision, hearing, mobility, and cognitive, across all products and services. These meet all the ADA guidelines above and beyond. Next, I will share a short 1-minute video that provides an overview of some of these latest accessibility features by Apple, as well as how app developers can also use them.
Without arms.
Hey Siri, set my morning scene.
Window blinds lift.
It's currently clear and 71 degrees. Today's high will be 80 degrees.
She uses her foot to pull down a comforter. Now a man with a mustache in bed.
Open weather. Swipe left.
The weather app opens on his iPhone mounted to a wall beside him. A little person stands on a stool and sings in a mirror. A woman signs to a baby in American Sign Language. Subtitles. You are the greatest. The woman without arms taps assistive touch on her iPhone with her foot. She browses images of makeup styles.
Describe images.
A man wearing dark glasses uses magnifier detection mode on iPhone to scan a dressing room.
A painting. A red jacket.
The woman without arms applies eyeliner with her foot. A cheerleader with Down syndrome high-fives a student. A DJ wearing a nasal cannula hovers his cursor over a track in Logic Pro. It magnifies with zoom. On iPad, the cheerleader taps the speak screen menu, then taps a Muhammad Ali quote.
I have wrestled with the alligator. Tussled with the whale.
The DJ rides a scooter as maps directions appear on his Apple Watch. The man with the mustache poses.
Tap, take picture. Tap, take picture.
Using voice control, he takes pictures of himself modeling in a power wheelchair. The man in dark glasses uses door detection on his iPhone.
2 doors detected. Text to stage. Door 4 feet away.
Using a white cane, he walks toward a door that reads stage. The woman steers a car with her foot and sings. Tears fill the baby's eyes. Their mother looks at her Apple Watch, which displays a sound recognition alert that reads baby crying. The man with dark glasses plays piano on a stage. Spotlights shine on him and blur the audience. The mother scoops up her crying baby. The woman without arms takes a selfie with friends. The little person flips her hair. Now in scrubs at work, she takes a timed selfie with the dog using iPhone and camera remote on her Apple Watch. The cheerleader takes a selfie with a friend. At a party, the DJ claps as his song plays on MacBook. The woman increases the volume in her car with her foot, and she shakes her shoulders. On MacBook, the model sorts through photos using facial expressions within alternate pointer controls. He selects a photo, then scrunches his nose and raises his eyebrows to crop it. On iPad, the cheerleader taps a quote by Muhammad Ali.
I shook the world.
The mother signs I shook the world in American Sign Language.
Thank you. We can see from this short film, clip from Apple that they've embraced accessibility products for a variety of users with disabilities. Similar to the Apple case, Uber, the popular ride-hailing service, food delivery, and freight transport, has incorporated remarkable UX accessibility features for both the users and the drivers. For the users, the app has easy to navigate menus, voice command integration, and high contrast modes for visually impaired individuals. For the drivers, they benefit from features like screen readers and simplified navigation instruction, customizable text size for improved readability. These small UX design elements make Uber a more inclusive platform and product, ensuring a seamless experience for all users and drivers, regardless of the abilities or needs. Next, a local case is the website for the brand identity of Sweden. That includes a brand guideline that has a section on accessibility, on how the colors, the fonts, and the marketing material are used. It is a scaled-down version that meets the European Accessibility Act guidelines. These are examples on the screen here. Another important aspect of accessibility is user testing and feedback. It's where our design intentions meet reality. It's critical by starting with a diverse group of recruits for the users with a variety of disabilities of visual, hearing, mobility, and cognitive. Then through refinement of user testing and feedback to improve the accessibility features. We all have individuals in our life that can benefit from accessibility UX features. According to Apple, this means 1 out of every 7 people that we know around us. Personally, I've witnessed the positive impact from my students and from family members, as well as that group. Each of them has discovered digital methods that cater to their specific needs. One common observation is that I've often seen that they have a lack of what the technology that currently exists with the digital accessibility features designed to assist them. They might not receive adequate information on how to activate these features. I hope by raising awareness of this topic, we can promote the use of these accessibility features and contribute to the creation of more inclusive products. Let's dive into the future of accessibility and UX design by looking at, here, I have a little glitch. This is, let's dive into the future trends. A list of the emerging trends are shown here, and actually they're related to mostly AI. And the first, I'm gonna focus on just one of them. The AI-driven image and object recognition feature. Microsoft has an app called Seeing Eye, and Google's Vision AI, which both assist visually impaired users. The Seeing Eye is a digital camera with AI to provide audio descriptions and spoken feedback of the surrounding. The feature includes text, object, person, scene, currency, and light detection. All of these trends are in rapid development. It's important with all these technologies that we develop an awareness of how to protect the data collected and enforce strict GDPR standards. In addition to the AI tools trends, many companies are recognizing the importance of providing financial support to kickstart innovation in this domain. Microsoft's proactive initiatives for grants for funding new AI accessibility products demonstrate this commitment to fostering the development of groundbreaking solutions. The link is on this slide. Also this year, there was a global online symposium dedicated to AI and accessibility research by W3C that took place. The symposium provided a platform for researchers, experts, and advocates to exchange ideas and share insights and showcase the latest advancements in AI-driven accessibility. Such events not only underscore the growing importance of accessibility research, but also serve as a catalyst for driving future innovation and collaboration in this critical area, ultimately enhancing the digital experiences of the individuals with disabilities around the world. To conclude, we've uncovered the fact that accessibility is more than just nice to have, but it's a fundamental aspect of creating better products and services for all. I encourage all of you to add accessibility components or awareness to part of your UX design projects, knowing that it only enriches the lives of users, but also drives success in business and increases participation of the entire community within the digital experience. If you're eager to learn more about accessibility and UX design, I put together the list. You know, what happened is I created this in Google and they moved it to PowerPoint, so it changed all the links. But this will be shared, and I also have a contact slide with a QR code. Yeah, okay. Finally, here's my contact information. Please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. This is the QR code to my website with contact. Thank you again for letting me take part. And I look forward to connecting with you. And after this, feel free to email me or connect on LinkedIn. And these are some of my channels. And I'll also share the presentation as a PDF if you contact me. Now I'll open up the floor for questions.
And I have the microphone right here for whoever needs it. Okay? I have Vova right there, 2 arms up.
Thank you very much for a great presentation. Question, we have a lot of designers over here, and step by step they start using tools to make sure that the design is accessible. The problem though is that not everybody understands what is accessibility, and as designers we need to empathize with the user. Do you have any recommendations what designers can do to start empathizing, to understand what those users have to live with day to day?
Oh, okay. That's a great question. I would say 3. Think of the people around you that you might know personally. Could be one, personal impact. Second is to be around, to go meet people that have those disabilities and have them in user groups or like make an effort. And and maybe even have a workshop based on that. I've actually taken courses myself and been involved in meeting people with different disabilities, and that's helped me empathize and take it personally and understand what it could do to their life. And I think you have to think about it in a personal and a strategic way, and also within workshops. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you for such a nice presentation. I have a question about, like, in a daily, as designers, sometimes we need to implement an additional widget in our websites. Can you recommend from your experience what's the best widget we can like use in like as sorry for my English a little bit. As you can use like as an additional tool to help us to enhance our accessibility compliance, which are like covering all the needs. Because I struggle to find the best one on the market, and I'm trying to do a lot of researches, like for example, like evaluating user-way, accessibility, which are like the most popular currently. But I gotten the information like not all of them like cover all the accessibility needs, and sometimes it's very critical to find something like this.
Well, I know the main ones a lot of people use are by Google, Chrome, and Microsoft, but I think it is it's a group effort of multiple evaluators. There's not really one size fits all. But I would say for the standard, there's for the basic needs, I would say Google or Microsoft has probably the best ones that I've seen. But I think unless you pay somebody, now often you can pay an auditor, an evaluation company to actually do that for you. So you pay somebody to do it, and they give you an evaluation report. And I think, and that's like a big developing field right now, to pay an auditor to do that. I hope that answers.
Thank you once again. Such a question everyone asked about the tools, and I want to ask as well. What tool would you recommend to use while working with data visualizations? Why I'm asking it, because we have a lot of limitations. We're using a lot of colors. We have to avoid some trigger colors like red, green, yellow, and so on. But what tool can help us generate some palettes, accessible palettes for data visualizations? Thank you.
Well, a lot of the tool, if you Google contrast checker, there's a lot of them online that are free, that are real easy, and they just give you the hex code. Yeah.
Yeah, we know about the contrast checkers,
yeah.
but maybe something else.
that is more about, like if it was more, I mean, those are the main ones that I know. I mean, about the contrast checkers. And then you could, now, if there might be an AI one available, if you have multiple ranges. But I would say to have it, because you have to check for also color blindness, which is a humongous amount of people. I'm always surprised at how many colorblind students I have, actually, and individuals I've met. So I almost think about things in grayscale now and not color.
I think we're good.
Thank you,
Elizabeth.
thank you.